Now we're going to do a warm-up. Remember, every time that you do a dance practice, it's important to do a warm-up. It'll make your body feel better and it will prepare your brain for dancing. So what I'd like you to do, get into a comfortable stance with your feet slightly apart, and we're just going to gently start by inhaling and raising our arms. Really reach. And exhale and relax. Bend your knees. Inhale and raise your arms. And an exhale, bending the legs. Inhale and straight. Exhale and bend. Now we're gonna reach up and tuck your chin. Dive down. Roll down, vertebrae by vertebrae. Relax and hang. Let your head feel really heavy. And now stack up your vertebrae, one on top of the other. And up. And the same thing. Reaching up. And exhale. Notice that I'm not bending my shoulders forward. Reaching up. And I'm gonna do it wrong this time. Don't do that. And reaching up. And exhale. Now you're right, good. And reach up. Tuck your chin. Roll down one vertebrae at a time. Soft knees. Relax. Exhale. Leave your head down. Hands on the floor. Straighten one leg and then the other. And alternating. Leave your head down. Alternate bending and straightening your legs. Let your head remain very heavy. Don't go like this. Let your head stay heavy. And bend. And rolling up. Use your abs. Use your core. And up. Okay. For our next step, we're going to be going through a plie through the center. So we're going to be doing this in the legs. Make sure that your alternate heel is coming up. Let me show you what we're going to be doing in the arms. We're going to be reaching up with the shoulder, the elbow, and the wrist. Shoulder, elbow, wrist, and the fingers. Shoulder, elbow, wrist. Good. One joint at a time. One joint at a time. Energy through your fingertips the whole time. So now, with your legs a little far apart, you're gonna be reaching over and over. Shoulder, elbow, wrist, shoulder, elbow, wrist. Imagine that your elbow has an eyeball on it, and the eyeball's gonna look at the ceiling. Now let your torso sway so you feel a little bit of a stretch. And reach, and let your head relax. Reach, and reach. And four more. 1, 2, 3, and 4. For the next exercise, we're going to be doing a twist and lifting our heels. So I'm going to go here and here. Make sure that you're lifting your heel, your back heel. Make sure you lift the back heel. See? Up and up. There we go, good. Up and up, and relax your spine. Just shake everything out. Let your shoulders relax. And then 4 more. 1, 2, let your arms swing. 3, and 4. And come to center. Rolling your shoulders back and down. Slight bend in the knees. Again, you're not going to be doing this. Align your torso, sliding down a wall. And to the front, shoulders forward. 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and 8. Now we're gonna do an exercise for our balance and for our alignment. So we're going to start with flat feet, and we're going to bend the knees, lift the heels, straighten the legs, lower the heels. Bend the knees. Don't do this. Keep your pelvis neutral. Straighten your legs. Heels down. Bend. Heels up. Straight. Heels down. Bend. Heels up. Straight. Heels down. Bend. Heels up. Straight. Heels down. And the reverse. Straight. Bend. Heels down. Straight legs. Heels up. Bend. Heels down. Straight legs. Heels up. Bend. Are you doing this? Come on. Heels down and straight. We're going to start with the posture for belly dancing. As with any dance form, the posture is your foundation for your dance. So throughout this entire program, I want you to stand with the posture in mind. Even if your foot might be up, the points of your posture still apply. Our basic stance has the feet close together, knees slightly bent, no plie. So the knees will just be a little soft, no squatting. Knees slightly bent. Then we're going to engage our abdomen. In the shimmy, you're going to relax your abdomen, but throughout the rest, you're going to be engaging your abdomen. Engaging the muscles, dropping your tailbone. So rather than this, you're going to do this. Rather than this, you're going to do this. The rib cage is going to be reaching slightly forward and up. Shoulders roll back and down. The shoulder blades are flat against the back. Your neck is nice and long, and you have a little bit of energy under your armpits. We can think about this in a couple of different ways. We're going to think about the pelvis as the basket for a hot air balloon. Engaging your stomach is going to be like the sandbags that keep the hot air balloon down. Your rib cage is the hot air balloon, and it's going up and forward. We don't want to go up like this. We want to go up slightly forward. Don't crack open your chest into a back bend. That's not right. Keep the ribs closed. Rib cage up and forward, shoulders back and down. We want to think about keeping the ear on top of the shoulder joint. So not where the front or back of your shoulder might be, the joint. Same thing with the shoulder on top of the hip joint. Not where your hips might be forward or back, but where your hips actually move in the socket. That's where you want the shoulder on top of the hip on top of the ankle. That's your alignment. So bear it in mind throughout this dance. Now we're going to use some isolations with the upper body. We're going to be looking at the technique for moving parts of your upper body independently of the other parts of your body. We're going to start with our head movement. The head slide is a movement that when people say belly dance, they always go, oh, belly dance? But this movement's actually really difficult. So we're gonna try to learn this. This movement uses the same muscles as that movement, forward and back. Go ahead and do that movement, going forward and back. It's really easy, okay? Really easy. You've just used the same muscles going forward and back that we're gonna use to go side to side, except now we're going to be pulling the jaw over one shoulder and over the other shoulder. This movement actually isn't very important in Middle Eastern dance. It doesn't show up all that much. So if you don't get it immediately, don't worry about it. Okay, so here we go. We're going to take the jaw over one shoulder, the other shoulder. Now you need to relax both shoulders. Don't flatten out your arms though. Keep a little bit of energy in your arms. Going over one side and the other side. You're going to feel the muscles engage. You're going to feel the side that you're moving to and the side that you're moving against. There'll be a stretch and a contraction. One side, the other side, one side, and other side. And 1, 2, 3, 4. In order to do this exercise, your neck has to be relaxed. If you have a tight neck, which most of us do, then you need to stretch it out. And then you'll be able to do your exercise better. Now let's take a look at some shoulder movements. The technique for a shoulder slide is pretty simple. We're just going to be bringing our shoulder forward and backwards. Forward in front, backwards in back of your back. Your rib cage isn't turning. There's no twisting motion of the upper body. It's just the shoulder. Take a look at my hand too. I'm imagining that I've glued it onto a shelf, so it's not going to be going back and forth. I'm just pulling my shoulder in front of me and in back. When I go in front, I feel a little contraction in my pectoral muscles. When I go in back, I feel contraction under my shoulder blade. Forward, back, forward, back, forward, back, and forward, back. We'll do it on the other side. The whole time you're doing this exercise, I also want you to push your shoulder down. This is very unattractive, raising your earlobe and your chin. Pull the shoulder down and just make a nice, clean line. Look at my hand. It's not moving forward and back. This is wrong. This is going to get you these type of movements once you start moving your shoulder. Put energy through the fingertips so that your hand is going to stay nice and still. Now we're going to go forward, up, back, and down. So first let's look at up and down. This is really simple. I want you to think about the muscles that you're using when you're doing this. Going up and then pushing down, stretching up, pushing down, stretching up, pushing down, up and down, up and down. Go through all of the nooks and crannies. You're gonna hear funny crinkly noises a lot of the time. It's all right. You want to go through all the nooks and crannies. So we're gonna go forward, up, back, down. Use your muscles. Forward, up, back, and down. Forward, up, back, down. Forward, up, back, down. Forward, up, back. Switch sides. Forward, up, back, down. Forward, up, back, down. Forward, up, back. Use your muscles. Forward, up, back, pull down. Now, we'll go through the same shape, but smooth it out and make a circle. Be aware of your hand. Don't let your hand fly all over the place. So we have forward, up, back, down. Forward, up, back, down. Forward, up, back, down. Forward, up, back, and down. Now we'll move on to movements in the hands. First, we're going to start with a circle of the wrist. Make a fist, and you're going to bring your hands in and out. Into your chest, out to me. Into your chest, out to me. You're going to feel a big stretch in your forearms, and you should do this exercise all the time, especially if you work on a computer, because it'll stretch out all of your tired, achy muscles. You'll hear some crickles and crackles. And we'll reverse it. In, out, going the other way, and out, and in. and out. Now we're going to make a hand ripple. So we're going to stretch out our hands, push through your knuckles, push through here. So it's like you're pulling the hands up like that. If you put your fingers together and your palms together, push the fingers together, separate the palms to stretch. You should do this every day, especially if you're working on a computer. Shake it out. And we're going to push and release. Push and release. Push and release. Push, release. When you do this push, that's probably fine. Push, 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 push. Lots of work. Push. Now, when you release it, you're lifting here. These knuckles are lifting up. So, push, up. Push, up. Energy through the fingertips. Don't do this. That's a cheat. You want to push and release, push and release, not push and curl. Push and curl. Watch yourself in a mirror. Make sure that you're doing it right. Push and release. This should hurt a little bit actually. Push and release. Push, release, push. Make it smooth. Smooth it out. Push, smooth it out. Push, smooth it out. And push and smooth it out. Now we're going to do scoop honey hands. So we're going to do the wrist circle and the hand ripple together. Scoop in and release. To your chest, release out. Hands into the chest, palms to the TV. Hands into the chest, palms to the TV. Hands in, palms out, hands in, palms out. When your palms are out, they're out like this. Don't drop your hands here. If you were to do it wrong, you go like that. See how floppy that is? No flopping. And in, and out, and in, and out, and in, and out. This is an arm exercise. We're going to be doing a port-a-bras, a ballet exercise for your arms. It's important that you do this exercise on a regular basis because arms are one of the last pieces that come together with dancing. We're going to be pushing our shoulders down at all times. We start with 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Push your shoulders down. 2, 3, 4. Shoulders down. 6, 7, 8. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Shoulders down. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. And 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Now we're going to do a drill to reinforce the movements that you've just learned. You can't just look at a movement and do it 4 times and then think that you've got it. It takes about 500 to 800 times of doing a movement before it sinks into your body. Okay? So this is just going to be a couple minutes. You have to do them over and over. Starting with our head slide. So we're going to go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Head slide. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Shoulders. 1, 2. Don't move your hands. 5, 6, 7. Wrist circles. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Ripple. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Back to head slide. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Shoulders. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Ripple. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Head slide. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Shoulder. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Circle. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Ripple. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Now we're going to do ribcage isolation. We're going to start by sliding our ribcage over each side of our hips. So we're going to go right and left. 1, 2, 3, 4. In order to do this motion, you need to keep your ribs away from your hips. This movement looks like this. It doesn't do this. We don't bend at the side, okay? So if you put your hand on your lowest rib and on the top of your hip, as you slide from side to side, the distance will stay the same. Don't bend. Also, your shoulders stay down. We don't want to do this, where we lift the shoulders. We don't want to do this, where we tip the shoulders. This movement takes a lot of internal stomach control. So if you remember, which I hope you do, your posture, when you kept your stomach engaged, this is one of the reasons that you're doing that. As you slide your ribs, you're going to feel the obliques tighten. You're going to feel the opposite side stretching. When you're moving your rib cage, think about pushing from the opposite side. So if I'm moving my rib cage that way, I'm going to push with that. Make sure you're not lifting your shoulders. Make sure you're not bending at the waist. You could have 2 little champagne glasses on your shoulders and they're not going to fall over. Now we're going to go forward and back. We're going to be pushing from between the shoulder blades to move the rib cage forward. We're going to be contracting the very top of our abdomen to move the rib cage back. Stretch forward, pull back. Stretch forward, pull back. Feel the muscles in the back. Feel the muscles in the stomach. Back, stomach. Back, stomach. The whole time you're doing this, your pelvis stays the same. It's as if you were buried in cement up to your hips. Back, stomach, back, stomach, stomach, back, there we go. Back, stomach, back, stomach, back, stomach. Your rib cage is moving independently of your hips. Remember your posture. Now we're going to lift and drop the rib cage. So we're going to be using those same muscles that we just used, and we're going to be moving the rib cage up diagonally and down diagonally. Up and down. Up and down. This is a lot of work from here. Okay, so it's not that you're going up, relaxing your stomach, and down and dropping. Blah, blah. We don't have any of that. It's a lot of work. So you're working from the back, contracting in the front. Working from the back, contracting in the front. Imagine that your rib cage is climbing up a flight of stairs. Up and down, up and down, up and down. When you go down and back, don't collapse. You need to control your motion. Up and control down, not up and collapse. We don't want the shoulders getting involved in this. This is unattractive. So not here. Leave your shoulders out. This is the ribcage lift and drop. Now we're going to make a circle on the floor with our ribcage. We'll start out by making a diamond. So we slide, forward, slide, and back. One side, forward, one side, back. Your pelvis doesn't move. Don't lift your tailbone. One side, forward, one side, back. You're gonna feel a lot of abdominal work if you're doing this correctly. And back, one side, forward, one side, back. Now left. One side, forward, one side, back. One side, forward, one side, back. Two more times. One side, forward, one side, back. Forward, side, and back. Now we're going to smooth that out and make a circle. So we go side, forward, side, back. You should feel a lot of abdominal work here. And back. Side, forward, side, back. Again, think about the champagne glasses on your shoulders. You shouldn't be having any type of this going on. Okay, your shoulders stay level. Forward, side, and stay back. We're gonna switch. Side, forward, side, back, side, forward, side, back, side, forward, side, back, and side, forward, side, back. Then come back to your normal posture. Now we're going to do a circle on the wall. Okay, so we're going to go up and side, totally up. Remember, up is here, not here. Look in a mirror when you're practicing this so that you don't go like this. Side, forward, side, down. Side, up and forward, side, down. Side, up and forward, side, down, side, up and forward, side, down. Other side. Side, up and forward, side, down, side, up and forward, side, down, side, up and forward, side, down. Take it out. Come back to your normal posture, and we're going to smooth it out. Side, up and forward, side, and down. Imagine that you have a pen sticking out here and a piece of paper right in front of you, drawing a circle. Side, up, side, down, side, up, side, down. And switch sides. Side, up, side, down, side, up, side, down. Don't do this with your arms. We're trying to isolate different parts of our bodies. So if your arms are coming along for the ride, and if your shoulders are working overtime, you're not going to have an isolation. And one more time, and down. Now it's time for hip techniques. So make sure you're in your basic posture to start. Your tailbone is down, your knees are just nice and soft, and we're gonna take our arms out. Don't take them out like dead bird wings. Take them out nice and round. We're going to start with a hip slide. We're going to be taking our hips over one side and over the other side. One side, the other side. The way you do this movement is by keeping your knees the same. So if you started with your knees slightly bent, they're gonna stay slightly bent the entire time. You're not going to go like this and straighten your legs. That's going to result in a pumping motion in your hips, and it's wrong. You're gonna keep both knees slightly bent, and we're just gonna shift our weight. Think about engaging your inner thighs just a little bit. Imagine that you have a book between your knees, or you could even put a water bottle between your knees. Make sure that you're not going to be lifting your knees and dropping your bottle. And then we're just going to shift our weight over one side while keeping our rib cage still. So we're gonna go one side, other side, one side, other side, one side, other side, side to side. Your tailbone stays down, and you're gonna feel a lot of work in your abdomen. You're gonna get a lot of stretch, and you're going to be contracting and pushing. Here's the contract and push, here's the stretch. Contract and push and stretch. Avoid pumping the knees. You don't want to do this. Nice, level side to side motion. Feel your feet on the floor. Side to side. Do you feel your abdomen working? Is your tailbone down? Are your shoulders relaxed? Don't move your upper body if you can avoid it. And side, 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 side. That's the hip slide. In your basic posture again, now we're going to be sliding forward and back. So we're going to take the hips over the toes, over the heels. Over your toes, over your heels. This movement looks simple, but it's actually really difficult because most people, when they go back, want to go like this. Do you see what I'm doing? When I go back like this, I'm shortening the muscles in my lower back and I'm pushing my tush up to the ceiling. You don't want to do that. Imagine that you have flashlights coming down from your bum, here, pointing down at the floor. As you bring your hips over your heels, they have to shine on the floor. Don't start shining them in the wall behind you. Okay, so you have to engage your stomach. Bring your weight forward over the toes, back over the heels. Forward over the toes, back over the heels. As I go back, I'm engaging my abdominal muscles. Back and engage the abdominal muscles. Back and work. Back and work. Forward and back. Forward and back. This should be a really level slide. And forward and back. And forward, back. Over the toes, engage as you go back. Over the toes, engage as you go back. You need to look in a mirror when you do this to make sure that you're not doing this. Over the heels, and over the toes, and over the heels, and over the toes. Now we're going to make a hip circle. We're going to start with our slide to the side. Then we're going to go slide to the front, slide to the side, slide to the back. Side, forward, side, back. Side, forward, side, back. Side, forward, side, back. On the other side, side, forward, side, back. Side, forward, side, back, side, forward, side, back. Make sure that your hips stay level during this movement. You don't want to do this. This, you don't need to buy a video to learn, okay? But since you're here, let's do it right. We're gonna smooth it out. Side, forward, side, back, side, forward, side, back, side, forward, side, back, side, forward. When I'm back, notice how long my back is. I'm not back like this. I'm back like that. Side, forward, side, back. Feel your abdomen working. Side, forward, side, and back. And the other side, forward, side, back. Smooth it out. Imagine that you're standing inside a barrel and you're trying to clean it out with your hips. There we go. This movement is a hip thrust. It looks like this. The hip thrust, your legs are gonna be a little wider apart, but you could also do it with your legs closed. To learn it, let's take our legs a little wider apart than normal. You're gonna start out with your knees soft. Imagine that there's a car door right here and you wanna slam the car door shut. You're gonna just go whack. What's happening when you do that is that your knee is going from bent to straight as you push your weight to the side. So you go from bent to straight, and you're also going to be engaging your muscles. Here, here, here. So we're going to go whack, come back in. Whack, come back in. Hit, 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 back in. Hit. Other side. Hit and in. Hit and in. Hit. Stop it with your muscle. Hit and in. Hit. Feel the muscles working. Hit and in. Hit and in. Hit and in. Hit, in, hit, and in. This is a hip crescent. This movement starts out the same way we started our lift and drop on one hip. We go up, twist forward and drop. Up, twist back and drop. Up, twist forward and drop. Up, twist back and drop. Up, make sure you're going down when you go forward. Up, make sure you go down when you go back. Up, to the front, up, to the back. Just like you did on the other one, when you were just going up and down, make sure that you're not shooting the other hip out. So when you go up and forward, you're not going like that. So none of this. We control it. Up and forward, up and back. 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 Remember your invisible high heel. It's not going to suddenly melt away. Up and forward, up and back. Up and forward, up and back. The figure 8 movements use a slide and a twist. So we start out in our basic posture, and you're going to twist the hip. Now, the weight is over this toe. Pull your hip back and the weight is over the heel. Slide the hip through. The weight comes over this toe. Pull your hip back, slide your hip through. Weight on the toe, twist back, heel. Slide through toe, twist back, heel. Slide through toe, twist back, heel. Slide through toe, twist back, heel. From the front to the back, to the front, to the back. Slide through, twist back, slide through, twist back, slide through, twist back, slide through, twist back. When you do this movement, it's okay if your feet move around a little bit. If you are tight in your legs and you try to glue your feet to the floor, it's going to be uncomfortable. So let your feet move around a little bit. Front, twist back, slide through, twist back. Slide to the front, twist to the back, slide to the front, twist to the back, slide to the front, and twist to the back. We can reverse that movement and make a figure 8 from the back to the front. It's pretty self-explanatory. The weight starts on this heel, twist to the front, slide to the back, twist to the front, slide to the back, twist to the front, slide to the back. Notice that my upper body, it's not rigid, but it's not moving all over the place. And front, back, and front. If you've practiced your slides and your twists correctly, you'll be using the exact technique that you already have done and you're just combining it. Make sure that you're not wobbling your way through it, okay? You have to actually use the technique that you learned. Sliding, twisting, and then soften it, and you have a figure 8 from the back to the front. You'll need to practice both of them so you can see the difference. Sometimes people will think one is the other and the other is the other one. Make sure you can tell the difference between going from front to back and going from back to front. We're going to do an undulation. It's going to use the forward and back motion that you've already learned and the contract and release motion that you've already learned. Again, make sure you're not using your glutes. This is all in your stomach. So we're going to go forward, contract, pull back, release. Forward, contract, pull back, and release. Go forward, contract, back, release. The mistake that everyone makes on this movement is that they go in a mushy pattern. You have to be really clear that it's 1, 2, 3, 4. You can't go You can't mix up your numbers because if you do, you're not going to get an undulation. It has to be really clear that you're forward, then you contract. Hold your contraction. Don't let it go. Pull back with the contraction. Release. Stay released. Don't let it go. Push forward. Contract. Stay contracted. Pull back, then release. Push forward, stay contracted, pull back, then release, push forward, stay contracted, pull back, then release. Relax your shoulders. Push forward, stay contracted as you go back, and release. Forward, contract, back, then release. Forward, contract, back, then release. Forward, contract, back, then release. So here's our combination. 1 and 2, 3 and 4, 5 and 6, 7 and 8. 1 and 2, 3 and 4, 5 and 6, 7 and 8. 1 and 2, 3 and 4, 5 and 6, 7 and 8. 1 and 2, 3 and 4, 5 and 6, 7 and 8. 1 and 2, 3 and 4, 5 and 6, 7 and 8. 1 and 2, 3 and 4, 5 and 6, 7 and 8. 1 and 2, 3 and 4, 5 and 6, 7 and 8. 1 and 2, 3 and 4, 5 and 6, 7 and 8. 1 and 2, 3 and 4, 5 and 6, 7 and 8. Circle 1 and 2, 3 and 4, 5 and 6. Get ready for undulation. 1 and 2, 3 and 4, 5 and 6, 7 and 8. 1 and 2, 3 and 4, 5 and 6, 7 and 8. 1 and 2, 3 and 4, 5 and 6, 7 and 8. Circle 1 and 2, 3 and 4, 5 and 6, 7 and 8. 1 and 2, 3 and 4, 5 and 6, 7 and 8. 1 and 2, 3 and 4, 5 and 6, 7 and 8. 1 and 2, 3 and 4, 5 and 6, 7 and 8. 1 and 2, 3 and 4, 5 and 6, 7 and 8. 1 and 2, 3 and 4, 5 and 6, 7 and 8. 1 and 2, 3 and 4, 5 and 6, 7 and 8. 1 and 2, 3 and 4, 5 and 6, 7 and 8. 1 and 2, 3 and 4, 5 and 6, 7 and 8. 1 and 2, 3 and 4, 5 and 6, 7 and 8. 1 and 2, 3 and 4, 5 and 6, 7 and 8. Here's our next combination. Figure 8, figure 8, figure 8, figure 8. Figure 8, figure 8, figure 8, figure 8. Lift and drop, 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 lift and drop. Figure 8 to the front, from the back 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 to the front. Crescent, back, forward, 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 back. Figure 8 to the back. Figure 8, figure 8. Hip lift, up and down, 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 up and down. From the back to the front, back to the front, back to the front, back to the front. From the back to the front, from the back to the front, from the back to the front, from the back to the front. Crescent and back, forward and back, forward and back, forward and back, and forward and back, forward and back, forward and back, forward and back. Figure 8. lift and drop. From the back to the front, back to the front, from the back to the front, from the back to the front, crescent. We're going to be working on shimmies now. Generally, it takes people anywhere from around 1 month to 6 months before the shimmies really sink in and become natural. There are numerous types of shimmies. We're going to be doing just 4 of them: an Egyptian shimmy, a twist shimmy, a 3/4 shimmy, and a ballet shimmy. So here we go first with the Egyptian shimmy. I'm going to be straightening my legs to the wall behind me. My weight is in my heels, and my legs are just straightening and bending. Straighten and bend, straighten and bend. I'm starting off nice and slow. When you start off this shimmy, notice that everything bounces. We're going to speed up the movement, and it's going to get smaller. When we do that, the movement happens from the waist down. So I'm just quickly straightening my legs to the wall behind me. My weight is in my heels, and I'm relaxing as much as I can and shaking my legs. It's as if you're running in place and you've been glued to the ground. Now let's do a twist shimmy. So we're going to start off in a slow twist. Then we're going to gradually just speed it up. That's all it is. Try not to do this. Keep the arms relatively stable. Then we're going to do a shimmy on our toes. So we're going to do just the Egyptian shimmy, regular shimmy, and then raise up on the toes, continuing the shimmy. This shimmy can be turned into the ballet shimmy or the choo-choo shimmy by lifting the feet just a little bit. You're just taking tiny, 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 tiny steps while rapidly moving your legs. The last shimmy I'm going to show you is the 3/4 shimmy. This shimmy looks like this when you do it quickly, but we're just going to learn it slow. So we're going to use the thrust, up and down. Thrust, up, down. Thrust, up, down. Thrust, up, down. Thrust, up, down, thrust, up, down, thrust, up, just release it, thrust, up, down. The weight is on this side, no weight. Weight, no weight. Weight, no weight. Notice you could lift your foot off the ground. You're not going to, but you could. Thrust, up, down, thrust, up, down. Thrust up, down, 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 thrust up, down. Let's cool down. Reach up and inhale. Arms down and exhale. Reach up and inhale. Arms down and exhale. Reach up and inhale. Arms down and exhale. Reach up and inhale. Tuck your chin and dive down. Bend your knees. Let your head feel very heavy. Put your hands on the floor. Look at the wall behind you. Straighten both knees. Bend both knees. Straighten. Bend. Straighten. Bend. Straighten. Bend. Roll up vertebrae by vertebrae. Reach up. And exhale. Reach up. And exhale. Reach up. Roll down, vertebrae by vertebrae. Bend both knees. And straight. Now alternate, one knee at a time. Head stays down. Bend both knees and roll up. Reach side and up, all the way over, and reach. Look up at the ceiling. Open your chest to the ceiling. And over and up. Reach side and up, over, and reach. Open up to the ceiling, and over, and up. Stretching out your quads, toes come up, arch your back. Push on your quads, not on the kneecap. And switch sides, stretching the hamstrings and the back of the leg. Slight arch in the back, stretch, and come up. Touch your knees together, heel to your glute, curl your hips under, try to keep your knees together, and switch. And switch. Open your chest and collapse. Open and collapse. Open and collapse. Reach up. Stretch out your shoulder. Thumb down. And switch. Take it out.